Hello everyone, I am Tacet, and today I'm going to be going over the Hello Darkness, my old friend event, in which the Void Portal and the Dark Troll are added to the game. We're going to be going over these two teams with them, so let's get into it. First, we're going to be starting with the Void Portal here. Void Portal is kind of interesting. For one, it is going to be getting 50% bonus this week. This is because all constructs are getting 25% bonus and all Kakarot troops are getting a 25% bonus this week. One thing to note about this is even at base stats, it has a higher durability than that of Fortress Gate. It actually has the highest durability of anything in the entire game. As you can see, it has 0 attack. There are 3 troops that have 0 attack. Those are the Dragon Eggs, the Fortress Gate, and now the Void Portal. But of all 3 of them, Void Portal actually has the absolute highest durability, which means the highest armor and HP total, 3 above that of Fortress Gate, which had the previous highest. Of course, once you put traits into consideration, it is a bit different, but they both have impervious, so that is very beneficial to them. You'll likely use this as a back tank instead of a front tank, mainly because it does have an excessively low attack on it. As far as its ability is concerned, it gives all daemons 2 extra magic every single time it casts, and if you have 12 or more souls, it will summon a random daemon. This is actually very, very powerful. For one, it'll always trigger as long as you have 12 or more souls. There's no way to actually deduct the amount of souls you have gathered. Other than that, it can also summon daemons, which are most of the daemons in this game are legendaries and mythics, and even if you don't have them, you'll still be able to summon them, so that'll be really good. The summon level on whatever you end up summoning is based on however high its magic is, which with the 50% this week will be fairly easy to obtain. So now over to the Dark Troll. Basically, the Valkyrie of Trolls, the main reason for this is it does give a bunch of souls, and even a little bit more this week because it does have the 25% bonus because it is a Kakarot troop. But it doubles the number of purple gems on the board, similar to all the other trolls. It just does a double of whatever color it just happens to be associated with, and this one happens to be for purple. And this one is particularly good, mainly because it has better traits than most of the trolls, and it can just accumulate a bunch of souls. Not to mention, purple tends to be a pretty popular color with a lot of damaging troops, as it tends to be more of magic-based and cast-based, most of the purple troops. And as far as its traits are concerned, Death Touch is definitely really good. Being able to have a 10% chance every single turn to kill their first troop is always beneficial. And one thing to note is it does have brown-red trait zones. You'll be able to use this to get Shegra, Yarrow Firemantle, as well as the Dark Troll itself, and many other pretty good troops. Oh, and Lava Elemental early on is pretty good in the game. I'll probably be getting that on my Let's Play account, trading that up with 2 Dark Trolls. But both of them this week are very, very much worth getting them, so definitely make sure to get one of each. I'll just call 700 glory, maybe even buy multiple of the Dark Troll, as you will be able to get a lot of valuable lava trait stones, plus you might be able to get them all the way up a rarity or so, maybe up to a legendary, since he is a base of mythic. So now we are going to be going over these 2 teams, but before we do, I have to go into our chest here, and there is Aberrath. Aberrath is the only legendary currently in the game right now. It removes the whole board, or in the event drop, I mean. You will have a chance for it. What it does is remove the entire board. It then gains a bunch of attack and then heals itself for full. You likely do not need to spend your event keys this week. It'll not be particularly good. Aberrath doesn't tend to be used that much. If you do use it, you'll likely use it with Skull Spam, but I wouldn't go out of your way to spend your event keys to try to get a Aberrath this week. One thing to note, though, is that there is a new mythic coming out this Friday, so you may want to save some of your resources for that mythic. So, one other thing, just to show, I'll show them again. Construct 25% this week, Kakarot 25. Bonus souls, of course. Whenever you use a Void Portal this week in either Explore or PvP, we will be gaining 20 extra souls per battle, so definitely try incorporating a Void Portal into your team. And of course, for killing a bunch of daemons, we will be getting a lot of these resources. Mainly souls are the resources this week, as Kakarot is based around souls, like a few other kingdoms. And there is the Ferret. Ferret isn't that good, but you could get him, might as well. It's not that hard to get 100 of those. Definitely get up to at least 50 because that's pretty good value. Anyways, let's go head over now to the 2 teams. Let's just head over to whatever our 3 trophy is, and here we go. We're using a Gorgoltha up front. This is basically the only thing that's really mandatory in this team, is the Gorgoltha. The other 2 you can easily replace out. Web Spinner you can replace out for a Giant Spider, and Dragon Soul you can replace out for a Warg. Warg is also a Daemon, and would be getting the magic bonus as well. But there are options to replace out some of these troops if you do not have all of these legendaries that we are currently using. So right now, we're just going to be pecking at whatever mana we could possibly take. He's going to get 2 of those off. Hopefully, he'll get colors that'll actually help us quite a bit. And he does not. So, I do not really want to take anything that's off this board. So we'll just take that. Try getting Gorgoltha up a little bit more. I prefer trying to do Dragon Soul. Maybe he'll hit a red or purple. Nope, he keeps going for that for some reason, getting a bunch of blue. That def is actually pretty scary because we do not have any immunity to it other than on our Fortress Gate. Or, it's Fortress Gate. Now I'm calling it a Fortress Gate. Other than on our Void Portal, which has that Impervious on it. But, worst comes to worst, we'll just be able to spam it and keep summoning. Though we do need to cast Dragon Soul beforehand. So hopefully we do not lose our Dragon Soul right here, as that is necessary to cast. We need at least 12 souls to be able to trigger the gate. So there we go. Good, it did not die. And our Gorgoltha cleanse, so we'll do that. Even if our thing dies now, it won't really matter because we can just replace it out with a summon off the portal. So, okay, Death Mark is being very nice to us. It's not really giving us any deaths. So we'll just do that. Miss the Web Spinner. One of the reasons we're actually using Web Spinners as filled is because of the magic buff that we could be getting on our portal. That 2 magic was actually quite a bit on a Web Spinner. Web Spinner has a relatively low magic, but it benefits a lot from magic since it can loop and deal quite a bit of damage out from it. So we'll just take these reds right here, get up our portal. We won't be casting it yet though. Maybe if we get our Web Spinner all the way back up, or if we lose a troop. So I'm kind of just waiting to see what that Death Mark does before we just go there. So we'll probably use Dragon Soul. If it survives, we'll use Void Portal just for the magic buff, and then we'll go from there. We're pretty much using Void Portal regardless. So there we go. We'll be able to trigger the Void Portal summon in that slot. So we just use Void Portal. That will get 2 magic because it's a Daemon. It does not actually trigger it. Like many other summoning troops, is a little bit weird of a sequence. It doesn't actually trigger on whatever it summons. As you can see, his magic is completely unaffected by it, unfortunately. But it does give your other Daemons 2 magic, and if we did it again, it would then give it to him. But on the initial summon, it does not give your summon the 2 magic that you get from it. But we'll throw this down again. Even if he ends up bone dragoning us, it won't really matter. We can easily replace it out with another gate cast, though it is a bit blocked. And that Granite Skin is going to be doing work. He won't really be able to get through it. He doesn't have any stun on his team. So we should be good for now. And again, with that Impervious that we have on our portal right there, it's going to be pretty hard for him to actually kill us, because the only thing he really has for kill potential now is his death. But if he can't Death Mark it, it's really not going to be able to die. So we'll be able to utilize that quite well with the Impervious that it has. Basically make sure we can't really lose this battle for the most part. But we'll throw this down right there. We're not going to be hitting any of the 2x boost ratio that it does for blue, but I'm doing that mainly just for the skull. And now that Gorgoltha has cleanse on PC and mobile, we can easily just cleanse off that freeze, get the mana for anything else we want, and there we go. Oh, and we get another skull on top of it. We'll just throw another Dragon Soul and just go from there. Now, unfortunately, we did lose one of our main damage sources, which was our Web Spinner. In this particular team, that was the major damage source that we were using, but we can just keep summoning and pretty much never lose. It's fairly hard to lose with a portal when you have something that can give it souls pretty quick. Something earlier on in the game, you'd likely want to use a troop that has a static amount, something like a Warg or Dragon Soul. This is mainly because things like Valkyrie and the Troll and other things may not have enough magic to be able to give it up quick enough. But, of course, you can just see what you have, see what works. But earlier on in the game, like when you have lower magic, you might want to get some more magic kingdoms first before you really start using a portal. Mainly because it's not going to be as beneficial if you cannot rush down the extra or enough souls to actually be able to cast it. But as you can see here, because we don't have Death Mark on it, we can just infinitely against this death keep summoning more and more troops. Let's see what we get this time. We get a Scion. That's pretty nice. We can just keep taking skulls whenever we see them and steal all his mana. His 3 mana right there, and then boom, we take it all. Any of these summons will come with whatever traits you have, but they will not have traits if you do not have traits on them. But it doesn't matter if you have the leveling on them. They'll come in at whatever leveling your magic is on the portal. But it is dependent on traits. If you don't have them unlocked and you have 0 traits on them, they will come in with 0 traits. So do keep that in mind. So yours may not come in traits. Let's see. Just take the skull, and that's pretty much match. We can throw anything at it. Doesn't really matter what we do here. So let's just, okay, we're not going to cast that, I guess. I was about to click on it, but Death Mark's just going to remove it from us. But there we go. That's match. And we could have easily, against pretty much any team, Void Portal them out. Void Portal is a little bit slow, but it's very, very hard to actually lose with it, particularly this week when it has such a huge 50% bonus. It almost feels unkillable sometimes. So let's go now into the next team. So what are we up against? Oh, Web Spinner Play. That's going to be a little bit annoying. At least they're both Daemons, so we are going to be getting little event gems for them. We're going to be using a Loop Troll team. We're not actually using the Hellcat Alchemist loop or the Giant Spider Green Seer loop in this team, but we can now do one on every single color using a Dark Troll Hellcat Giant Spider combo. And currently the best thing that we could possibly use with that is a Kraken, mainly because it deals 3 damage to all enemies whenever it does 4 times or more in a match. We're going to still be going with the double purple +1 red -1 yellow, just like we did with the previous team. This is mainly so we can get a huge purple burst to get up our Hellcat. The -1 yellow won't really matter because we're mainly going to be focusing on purple. Plus that red will help us be able to get up our Dark Troll in 1 turn as long as one of them surge. So we'll go from here, see what we can do with this. I kind of want to take this brown and hope that we get a random yellow, though that is pretty unlikely. I think I'm still going to go for it. And we do not get it, but at least we didn't give it to him, so it wasn't bad. We could go for brown. As long as it surges, we should be able to get this going. We could go for the red too and hope that surges. I think I'm going to go for this red actually. So we'll take that. Hope he doesn't take purple. Ooh, that was close. We could take it safe and go for the purple and then go into Hellcat. But I think I'm going to risk it. It doubles the amount of purple. So how many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 purple spawn on this kind of board. I think we can get away with that. And we do. So we'll get that up. Of course, that's doing damage to him every single time we do. We will want to be careful how we actually take our gems, because we will want to be taking our gems to be able to get as many extra turns out of this as possible. And as you can see, we can kind of just keep looping mana. As long as we make sure we never remove the purple, the red, or the blue, we should be fine. Though I could occasionally do the blue. And we can take skulls whenever they're available. We'll get the Death Mark off, or Death Touch, with the Death Mark from the Dark Troll, so that'll be pretty beneficial as well. Right here, I think we're going to go for that, so we'll just take this, get a Death Mark on it, and there we go. 10% chance every single turn to kill, including the very first turn, as you saw right there. So pretty good at taking them out. One other thing we have is a 40% chance every single time we cast this to devour. The only bad thing about this in this current matchup, which I won't really be able to show, is he has Impervious on his last slot, so we will not be able to use a Kraken against it, which is another thing which is pretty good about using a Void Portal in the back slot, since you don't really have to worry about back slot punishment like this Devour and stuff like that. So not that many purple on the board, a little bit of a board setup. Regardless, I think I'm going to cast this, even though we can't get the Devour off it. We don't really have that many other moves. Just trying to get Giant Spider up so we can go Giant Spider into a Dark Troll combo. So we'll do that. We got our Giant Spider. As long as he doesn't ruin this, which he probably will, we'll be able to do it on yellow. And yep, he did ruin it. So there's nowhere we can actually do this. Let's just take the red. Maybe that'll give us some alignment somewheres. And no, it does not. Oh wait, yeah, we can do it on brown. Never mind, there is alignment. Not that much mana, but that should be enough to get this going. Oh, we took away some purple on accident there, but I believe we still have enough purple to make this work. Before I do, I almost want to take these skulls. He is going to get Web Spinner up if I do, though. Would prefer if I could actually take away his green somehow, but there's nowhere we can get an extra turn off this with green. So I'm going to test our luck with this. Hopefully we'll get an extra turn. And we do, so that works out very well. Get a bunch of damage on them. We'll take the skull. We'll leave those purples there in case we need them. Hellcat we'll do over here. Then we'll take those purples that we left there, and that'll get our Hellcat right back up because we have +2 on our purple right now. So we just keep looping these, keep ticking them down over and over and over again. And you can basically infinite loop with this team, is one of the reasons why I wanted to show it. Because if you just like really wanted to have a high win rate for some reason, this team could most normally just go into this loop and not really stop for the most part. Occasionally it may have to like poke just here and there when you're just like slightly short on mana, but for the most part it loops pretty well. It'll give you max souls, you'll get a bunch of gold too because you keep getting extra turns, and it works pretty nice. Okay, we'll just take this, double our amount of purple again, and of course this is giving us a huge amount of souls every single time we do that. And that is the match. We can just use this on anything, doesn't matter. Just get that little bit of damage off and then kill it off with the Kraken. And there is the match. So there we go. Those are the 2 new troops. Definitely make sure to get both of them. Particularly the portal this week, as you will be wanting to use that in your team. Probably in last slot. Make sure to fully trade it too if you can. And it'll be pretty good at giving you a lot of extra souls. Just do it in PvP on any battles. Maybe even do it on the weak battles on your 1 trophies, just so you can accumulate a bunch of souls. So yeah, that'll wrap it up for this video. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, and have a wonderful day.